Among the many reasons I love my work, one is that sometimes it involves going over to a friend's place for quality kulkarni. I've known her for a while and we just have a connect. We can talk for hours. But this is the first time I spoke to her about how she became the face of many ad films and a TV actor.
It wasn't like I had a big aspiration or an ambition of being like a Bollywood actress or a big superstar or whatever, but I wanted to see myself someday on TV or in a magazine, in a nicely done photo shoot. So I used to keep telling my mom is the stricter one, so everything has to go by her. So I used to tell her that I want to do a photo shoot. So that was my only ambition, that I wanted to do my photo shoot from a good photographer. So we went to Mr. Gautam Raja Dhyaksha, who was at that point he was the top photographer, and got my portfolio done. And even then there was a condition from strict mom that you will do one ad and that's it, nothing beyond that. You wanted to be in an ad commercial, so now you can do that. You want to do photo shoot, I'm spending all this money for your photo shoot, enjoy it, do one ad if you have to, and then after that it's not what you're going to do in life.
But why did she say that? Why did
she was not very comfortable with
being in that profession?
We don't know anybody from this industry. It's a completely new thing. So, and the kind of things at that time you used to hear, it was so she was not at all comfortable with that.
So then you shot that portfolio. And then you got your first ad immediately?
Yeah, so that was the interesting part. It was a surf ad and I went for my first audition and I got that ad.
Oh, you got your very first ad?
Yeah, with my first audition that I did.
Amazing.
Yeah, but that was just the beginning. So then came my low point. After that ad, for about 8 to 10 months, there was no calls. There was nothing. And I remember we had there were 2 landline numbers and we had given one number to these people, it was like my professional phone type. And it never used to ring. And there were days we would just even mom used to feel bad.
But her condition of that one ad evaporated after that?
So that is another thing. No, that's another thing. That condition kind of changed, where she saw the work, the people are good, industry is good, I'm doing I got my first ad and Gautam had nice things to say about the photographs, so she kind of loosened up a little bit.
According to you, when you have to act in TVCs, is it more the persona and the looks, in the sense that your physicality suits a certain kind of portrayal, or is it the acting talent? Because in your case, you hadn't done any acting classes before. How did you understand and learn acting?
TVCs actually require a lot. It looks very easy because it's like a few seconds, but in those few seconds you have to give all those emotions. You have to emote and convey that entire message, whatever is required to sell an entire product, right?
Yeah.
So I think I did fit the part where they used to say that I have that face where it's not too homely, not too modern. So it was an in-between kind of a thing. I'm not very over the top, so that's subtle, because probably I'm not formally kind.
What is it?
So I think because I don't have formal training in acting, I just do whatever I would do naturally, so it's spontaneous. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't even.
I remember you telling me that you went for many auditions without any success, and then finally you cracked it, and you said that it's important to go through those rejections to understand what you did right and wrong. So at what point did you feel I've cracked it, and what was that? According to you, what is the art of auditioning?
I think the first thing that I do is, there are obviously lines and dialogues, right? Sometimes there are long ones also in ads. So the first thing that I do is I just memorize all that. So once you are thorough with whatever you have to say, then you can move to emoting. But if you're not sure of the lines, upar niche, something is happening, then your brain automatically, it's only focusing on remembering the lines. So you memorize those, and then that camera is your everything. So I think you actually just feel the camera and sense how the camera must be catching whatever you're giving it, and it's just that chemistry you have with that camera for that moment. Grooming is important, because a lot of auditions I used to just go put some foundation on and whatever, if I have to be selected I'll be selected, but that doesn't work. You need the first ad I got because there was professional makeup and I was groomed properly, so it's important. You can't just walk in and say I'm naturally very beautiful and I'll be selected. It doesn't work like that. You need that to look that part. So there was about a year long or even more period where I used to go for an audition, and every audition I used to bag the role, and it was like the best phase of my advertising or acting career in general. It was an amazing feeling, and getting ads is not easy. It's a better paying job also. So it just puts you on the top of the world. Like every time you're going and you're getting it. There was a serial called Had Kar Di on ZTV with Dara Singh and Rita Bhaduri, and I was playing their granddaughter. So I started with that show, and then like offers started coming, and I was still doing. I never let go of my advertising. I was always auditioning for ads. So what happens generally sometimes when actors become big on TV, they make it, they don't want to audition for things. They're like, okay, now everybody knows me, so why do you need me to audition? But it doesn't work like that in advertising. You have to audition.
At any point, did you feel like telling a director or a script writer that what the hell am I supposed to play out, and I'm not able to relate to this? Can you just change this? Did that ever happen?
Sometimes it does, but I try to keep it to myself because I believe that I'm being paid to do a job, and it's not my job to correct the people who've hired me, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like if it's wrong, they will know eventually that it's too much or it's too over the top. From my end, I'll try to make it subtle as much as I can. But there's only one instance where I have gone and told the creative head that this is just not correct, because that lady was acting like a crazy person, and I was like, but this lady is not crazy. Why are you making her out to be crazy and really, really stupid? So that's the only time, but otherwise I don't try to interfere with their creativity. I'm like, they know what works. So I trust, like I said, I just blindly trust the producers and directors and don't try to interfere in their work.
And the money, the hours?
The hours, of course, are grueling. Everybody knows that. There's a minimum 12-hour shift, which every actor has to abide by. And of course, when I did my latest show, Itna Karo Na Mujhe Pyar, I had told them I can do only 10 hours because I have a little child and everything, and they were very, very cooperative. But otherwise, still, especially when you're playing the lead, it's long hours, and it's also very stressful because that entire pressure and everything is just on your shoulders. So to look good and then to emote and then to be standing there and memorizing your lines, like you said, you're getting them on set, and sometimes there are 10 pages which you just have to memorize, and there is no way that you can say, can I take a day and do this tomorrow? You have to do that at that very moment. So sometimes it gets to you. So my younger sister gave me good advice. She's like, make sure you always feed yourself something so your brain gets the energy. Otherwise, there's no way you can cope with this kind of pressure and these dialogues and stuff. So the hours are insane. Money, of course, in any industry you grow, right? You can earn loads of money if, of course, you are sincere and hard work and you keep going, and then there's a progress, of course, everywhere. It's not like you go and on your first show and say that demand a certain, but it's a well-paying industry, I would say.
Was there a point, especially after you had your baby and came back to the show, was there a point where you said that I'm just regretting this? Why did I take it up? Like, it's so much pressure. Because honestly, I go through those moments. We all, we are the kind of women who want to pursue our artistic dreams and our careers and our ambitions. But at the same time, sometimes this reality just, hits you and you're like, I can't balance this out. And obviously family is important, and I know you're a family girl. So did you feel those regrets? How did you do that balancing? Tell us more about how did you manage your baby at that point?
This is a hard question. It was very difficult for me. So my baby was 1 year old, and I took a decision because this offer of Itna Karo Na Mujhe Pyar from Balaji, of course, opposite Ronit Roy. So it was an offer that I could not say no to. It was just like, I knew this has to be like the biggest TV show for me in India, at least, I'm not even bringing Vaidehi into this equation. And I've always wanted to work with Balaji. I hadn't gotten a chance to work with them, and I've had heard so many things about them. I wanted to experience. I had a good experience, by the way. So I couldn't, and then, every people in the house, especially, like, I'd like to give credit to my nanny in here. She said, "Ab kar lo. Ho jayega manage." And that was a big thing. And of course, my husband, my mom, everybody was very supportive. They said, you do it, we'll take care of the baby. He's too little and he'll be proud of you one day if you do this. So that It's somewhere it kind of encouraged me. So I took it on. And I'm a perfectionist, and I give my 100% in whatever I'm doing. So there's no way I can, that balancing act I cannot do. So when I'm on shoot for those 10 hours, I am there. My phone is off. I'm not going to ask, has my baby eaten? Has he taken a bath? Has he showered? Nothing. So
it was in charge of the baby at that time?
So I live with my in-laws. So my in-laws, of course, were very, very helpful. I mean, without them, I couldn't have even thought of doing this, right? And then, of course, I had a good nanny. So she was taking care of him, and he was very little. So when I started the show, he didn't even realize that I was going. You know, he used to look at me and then maybe cry a little bit, and then he would forget. But by the time the show was, you know, it had completed a year, he started talking and he started saying, "Mama, I miss you, don't go." And he would cry, and I would be crying on my way to the shoot. And but still, I didn't quit the show. The show, like, kind of, there were other factors that happened, and it kind of ended on its own organically.
Because you had people back home who you completely
trusted. Absolutely. That is the most important thing, right? And still I used to be restless, you know. 9 o'clock, I used to be like, even Ronit used to say, Madam ka 9 baj gaya, agar inko ghar nahi choda, to pura studio sar pe utha lenge, inko chodo. So it was a thing that 9 o'clock she has to run because 9:30 was bedtime for him. So I had to make it before he slept. It was hard.
Really fun guy to hang with. But what is he like as a husband, and how did you guys meet? I have no idea. Did you like him instantly? What happened? Tell me.
Ours, you know, it was an arranged marriage. And we met a couple of times. The first time we met each other, we had an instant liking. I wouldn't say that, oh my God, it was love at first sight and we were just looking into each other's eyes. It wasn't that. But it was a very, very nice, comfortable meeting where I was like, okay, I can sit and chat with this person, and he felt the same. So we decided to meet a couple of times and, you know, take it slow. So that's what we did. We met with friends, we met each other's families and everything. So it kind of happened, and then finally that decision had to be, since it's arranged, you can't just keep on dating, right, forever. So my father stepped in and he said, like, what's happening here? So then we decided properly to get married, and ever since it's been a great journey with him. He's a great husband, but after having a child, I've realized he's a better father. He's a better mother than me. I always tell him that. So he's just wonderful, and that, I think, to any woman is so attractive, right? When the father is taking care of the child better than you probably could, and it's amazing.
So when you say he's a mother, my acid test question is that in Kayan's daily routine, what are the things that Mihir takes care of which you don't have to worry about?
He could take care of everything. I wouldn't have to worry, so I can leave him with Mihir. But right now, we're in the middle of changing nannies, right? So the morning routine is all done by Mihir. Giving him a bath, brushing his teeth, feeding him breakfasts, and dropping him to school because the driver doesn't come that early. All that he does. And this is because my sleep is very precious to him as well. Before we got married, I told him I love sleeping in. So, you know, I hope you won't have a problem with that. So it's been 10 years now. He still has that in his head. And one morning, I think, he had a late night. So the next morning, I told him, please wake me up. I'll do the morning shift. And he didn't. And then I asked him later on, he was in office. I was like, why wouldn't you wake me up? And he was like, no, I was trying to protect your sleep.
Oh, sweet.
So
wow.
These are,
100 brownie points right now. Answer to me.
Good.
Are you looking to go back to working on a TV show if a good offer comes? What to you is like the perfect work-life balance now at this stage, which would make you the happiest?
So, of course, I would love to keep doing my ads. But television, a daily soap, 12-hour shifts, and Monday through Friday and all those might be difficult, playing the main lead and being the only lead on a show. I would like to do somewhere where there's a parallel lead, where there's somebody else who's, sharing the weight on their shoulders. Or all the web series now. I think Balaji's also come out with Balaji Alt. So something like that would be interesting, where it's a finite series. You're working like 2-3 months, and there's no deadlines. You have to telecast tomorrow, otherwise there's so many losses going on. So it's not that much pressure. So I would love to do something like that.
Balaji, I hope you're listening.